Ta-da! Well, welcome back. A brief recap. Last time, you guys met a druid in the form of a bear called Baron. Yes, you learned from him that a green dragon lived on the mountain nearby, and that Baron used to live on the mountain until they were chased away by a group of draconian humanoids. Travelling on, you were prevented from crossing a bridge by a rather angry goblin and a pretty passive troll. The goblin then challenged you to a game of riddles and if you passed, they would let you cross. If you failed, they demanded all of your gold. Fortunately, working together, only Stix failed on his riddle and gave the goblin a small amount of gold. That's all that he owns.
Yes. Yeah, you say small amount of gold. That was like 20% of everything I own. Weapons and stuff included.
You ascended and spent a night on the mountain before travelling on and encountering 3 draconian scouts. You tried to persuade them to show you the way, however, when it turned out you were not the people they were looking for, they were looking for some kind of delivery, they tried to kill you. Unfortunately for them, you killed 2 of them and left one of them, a mage, unconscious. And that is where we pick up in the aftermath of this battle.
Lovely. Let's get zooming, folks. Don't want to stick around here for long. Don't fancy another switching of the guard or anything coming around and getting us. Yes, people for the oven is going on. So I'll be back. You guys don't kill me. I'll be 2 seconds. Right. Yeah, let's get going.
Were we gonna do something with this other guard?
Currently, they are unconscious and restrained by vines Stix has conjured.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do something.
They did tell you there was a village nearby, which had a very large door in it.
Door in it?
Yes.
Like in the middle of it? It's like an archway.
They just mentioned a large door.
Okay.
They also referred to a master.
They did, which we're assuming is the same guy that turned into that abomination. No, it can't be the same guy. No, because he didn't turn into one. He was experimenting on someone else in that cave. And they said it was green. So it could be that guy finally turned himself into a dragon. Because also, these draconians, you said they weren't like normal dragon things, like dragon people.
They don't look like dragonborn.
Yeah.
They have a much wilder and more feral appearance.
Do we think that these, like based off what we knew about, or what we found out about what was going on in that cave, and what we can see, and what these things are, do we think there's any connection there in that maybe something in some of his notes or some of his research could have led to these things, these new dragon-esque humanoids?
Possibly, but this seems like a newer
development. Yeah.
But
Okay. Well. Oh. Okay. So
did you say he was?
let's.
Yes,
Yeah, he was knocked down, and I used my channel divinity to.
Yes, is restrained by vines conjured by Stix.
Excellent.
if we could find a place to take a quick little short rest, so I can get those vine powers back. For I am weak and tired and need rest. I don't actually need it that badly. It just also allows me to get a spell slot. Why is it launch I'm telling twice? This is sad. Otherwise, I'm just happy with pushing on.
Yeah, I think it's better to keep going because he's going to wake up and we don't want him running ahead.
Yeah, that's fair.
And telling everyone.
Well, even if he wakes up, he has to break out. I guess, after a little while, he could probably break out like vines.
He'll probably eat as well.
Yeah. All right. Let's pick up. Keep moving on up. And if anything goes wrong, well,
Blame Stix.
we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
Sounds good.
I was gonna blame Neo. I'm just saying.
Yes, I'll blame Klari.
There he
This
is.
is the point where you say I'll blame Arwen, and then it's I'm sorry. Yeah, then everyone's at fault.
So we're all just kind of looking at each other like, oh, maybe it was our fault. Yeah, no, yeah. That's fair.
That sounds right.
No one accepts responsibility, but everyone is to blame.
Yes. And on that note, let's persevere
Okay.
onwards through the fires of a mountain, which isn't on fire.
And as you push on, you start to pick up on the areas you have traversed through so far have been wild and untamed forests, and pushing in now, you can see signs of tracks and pathways developed, well worn by the tramping of many feet, which would potentially, if you did want to follow them, give you a pathway to somewhere. Otherwise, you can attempt to cut cross-country, which may avoid certain things, may not.
Arwen, your speciality was forests and what? Was it? Did it happen to be mountains?
No, it's grasslands.
This isn't grassland. That's fine. I don't feel like sticking by the regular path is a good idea, just because I feel like we're probably going to see more of these things in a more well-trodden path. But then, do we want to see more of them to take me to your leader? Because we are trying to find these ruins. I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
I feel like we should stick to the path because then at least we know we're going in the right direction. Whereas if we go in the woody bit, or not woody bit, but off the thing, this is where they live. They jump on us.
That's a good point. Yeah, and also maybe we can find some slightly more reasonable dragon thingies, dragon people. I don't know what they are, and find some slightly more reasonable of them, and maybe we can have a discussion with this dragon person and figure things out from there. We're not here to kill. I ain't here to kill no dragon. I just want to go into a big ruin.
Yeah.
Find some shit out. We'll be on our way. I think that's reasonable.
Okay. So, you make your way, you start heading down one of these pathways, and you walk for a while. The forest is a little bit quieter than you would potentially expect. The trees aren't as big as those on the valley floor in the forest, make up the forest proper. So it certainly has a very different feel. There is a warmth and a magical warmth to that forest that keeps even though you're quite far north, keeps the climate temperate. The trees have been aided, the growth has been aided over time by the elves to bolster it magically, making it lusher and vaster than it would potentially otherwise be. But above the tree line here, it seems like either the elves magic doesn't reach this high up the mountain, or something counteracts it. But the forest feels very different. That warmth isn't there. You're not cold, not dangerously cold, but the temperature does drop as you rise. You guys are several hundred feet up now. So there's a noticeable difference on these slopes, but they are still pretty gradual and leafy. You can see above you where they get more, where the vegetation seems to stop and they get rockier. But you press on, pulling your cloaks and things more tightly around yourself, just to stave off this quite natural chill, but almost unnatural considering the forest warmth normally. You follow the pathways, and they're twisty-turny. They, much like an animal track, seem to follow the path of least resistance, wending their way through little gullies and around rocks and boulders and the trees, happily sort of toing and flowing. And probably you, Arwen, best of all, as being on the cusp of your favourite terrain, would sense that you're no longer would sense first, others would probably pick up on eventually, that you're no longer ascending the mountain in the same way. Before, you were tackling it very head on, walking straight up, almost as if you were going to directly climb it. This pathway that you've chosen curves around, and you don't feel like you're ascending much at all at the moment. You're mainly sort of circling in a big, you make a small amount of progress around the mountain, but you can tell by the way the sun moves and things like that, but you are potentially patrolling around the side of this mountain currently. But you press on, keep walking, and the path is easy to follow. It's single file between the trees, but it's easy going. You can see, looking to your left and right, that if you had tried to struggle the direct path, you might have found it more difficult to push through the undergrowth in places, to have to climb small ledges and cliffs and things like that as you went up, whereas this seems to just naturally follow the lines through. So you're pretty comfortable walking in this space, and you spend a good amount of time doing so. You walk for maybe 2-3 hours, starting to move off in a more northerly direction, when a sound reaches your ears. You hear the patter of what sounds like running feet and the snatching of branches and snapping of twigs and things as something rushes through the undergrowth. As it draws closer, you hear a panting of and then there's the crash and almost like a screech or a squeak as it appears something falls. A little ways off to the side, you hear voices speak, but none of you understand the language of the speaking. And then another voice. The first voice is high and shrill. The second voice is much larger and deeper. Answers in a sort of a grush, harsh tone, and then you hear, an impact, as if someone's been hit.
Oh no.
What would you like to do?
What direction is it in?
It's a little ways off the path, probably a few hundred feet, sort of slightly as if you're going in the direction of us to ascend the mountain.
Do we want to be involved?
I kind of want to. I'm nosy.
No, let's take a look. Maybe they've captured someone.
From a
They both
distance.
sound like they were speaking the same language.
Yes.
Okay. So it wasn't like they'd taken someone, taken some fake creature or some
No,
other thing.
There was 3 beings. 2 of them were chasing one of them, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
Do you want me to pass without trace us?
Yeah, maybe that's a good shout, and then we can
So
push on it.
Yeah, we don't get.
Yeah, push on it. Take a gander.
Kapow.
Okay. Yeah, Arwen, you cast Pass Without Trace. Everyone make a stealth check. Everyone who's trying to sneak up, make a stealth check and add 10. And this is basically a formality at this point, but you never know.
We are a quite stealthy group.
You know, with passive perceptions of 9 and 10, I'm sure that...
No, that's survival. Stealth. Oh, 29 survival. God damn.
Yes, it's a 26 and a 31 from Arwen and Stix.
And now the stealthiest of us all.
A bookmark.
Bookmark.
Mm.
Look at that.
Can you wiggle that paper out of that, please? You rolled a 17. So Clary got a 42.
Jesus.
Fucking hell.
A simple 42.
Little bit funny.
We're all like moving through the trees and stuff, and Clary's like, we're all like, what do we think's going on? And then there's one of the holes in the trees where owls hide, and Clary's just inside there like, I don't know. We're like, wait, what? We look inside, and then from another one across the way, from another tree, like, hey. It's like, what the fuck?
She's amazing.
Look inside that one, and then she just pops down from the tree upside down, like, maybe we should.
Clary is, for all intents and purposes, invisible. Yeah, so you guys sneak up, and what you see is one of these draconian soldiers, large sort of green, sort of coppery green skin, large wings, wearing basic sort of leather armor, has a very small creature in its grasp, and the small creature is scrabbling and kicking at the larger one, screaming at it. And it seems to be the source of this higher pitched voice, trying to break free of its grip. This creature is a creature that you recognize, Arwen, as a kobold.
Oh. Wait, so kobolds speak the same language as these dragon things?
They all speak draconic.
Oh, Stix. You can say, can I have a biscuit or something in draconic? They're asking.
Do I recognise literally any word that?
It's all a bit too fast and too garbled and too frantic for your one night of reading your draconic common dictionary.
Last session, I should be fluent. I joke. But okay.
As you're watching, the larger draconian pulls out a strip of leather from a pocket and grabs the wrists of the kobold and proceeds to start winding it around its hands.
What do I know of kobolds? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they...
Make a nature check for me.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say that. I was hoping. Big boy has... Oh, fuck. +7 nature.
Can I help him because I know of them?
You can, but you have to say before he
Oh,
rolls.
okay.
So you can make your own check.
Okay.
Or you can just say what you remember, but you can make your own check and all. 21. So, yeah, kobolds are very much like goblins. They are an intelligent race, but generally pretty sneaky, pretty hidey. Kobolds sometimes have an affinity for dragons, in terms of seeing them as very big, very powerful creatures to be worshipped.
Like me.
So they live underground, in packs or clans or groups, and yet generally they're quick and sneaky and what have you. It seems that this one has potentially strayed above ground and has now been caught by one of these draconian scouts. Indeed, while you're watching, he binds the hands of this kobold and pulls out a length of hempen rope off his belt, like any good adventurer has, and ties it around the bindings, almost like a sort of a short lead, and begins to move off. And as they do so, they shout something else in Draconic, and you hear a voice a ways away that you can't see answer back with a shout.
Would she know, sorry, to go back to that nature check and the kobolds, would she know what the sort of like public opinion of them is? What the general opinion of them? Obviously, like, you can't just think a race as like good or bad, but what is the... If one was like walking to the streets of Denderport or something like that?
They're generally seen as pretty sneaky and untrustworthy. They don't have like established nations and things like people don't trade with kobolds. They generally sort of live off the land in terms of like hunting scraps and stealing, and sometimes if you get sort of brave enough ones or large enough ones, they will try raiding, but generally they stay away from settlements.
Right, okay.
The ones that Arwen encountered did seem to be working for a kobold boss, so to speak. You remember there was an incredibly large and fat kobold ordering them to serve him.
Yes, the kobold mob.
Yes, so they seem to be following his orders.
Okay.
Should we follow them up the...
Yeah, we can try and keep our distance, follow them up and back to their base. Maybe.
Because then they're basically leading us straight there, and we're being sneaky, so they're not gonna really know.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Alright, let's do it.
Nice.
Okay, another stealth check from everyone. It's probably a formality, but you never know. Someone might roll a 1. Like Neo!
You rolled a 1.
He did roll a 1.
Oh, Neo, you
He's going
bitch!
over there. He's not messing us up. I've got 30 stealth. I am the stealthiest.
This time.
Yes.
I rolled a 4.
It's a bloody miracle.
So,
I love that Clary's is 33.
Oh my god! She rolled a 4 and got 17.
rogue man, maybe broken.
Oh, Jesus.
Technically, I rolled a 4 and got 27.
Yeah. So
So,
Klari emerges from a tree, and Neo has not really been paying attention. Well, who has absolutely no fucking idea where Klari was, just falls over in surprise that he was just right next to him this entire time. And there's kind of this clank of armor, and you see the draconian stop and look around. Looks around and casts his eyes back and just sort of grabs the rope and just sort of like shakes gives it a tug, and the kobold stumbles a few feet, and you can hear a sort of little bit of like clinking maybe from a couple of pouches. Maybe he's got some like metal scraps or something, and it looks like the draconian decides that this was probably the source of the noise, and begins to wander off. And as you follow, you see, after maybe 30 or 40 feet or so, another couple of draconians emerge from down the pathway. They greet and exchange a few words. The one leading kobold sort of lifts the rope up in the air, lifting it all the way off the ground as if to show. And then there's the sound of laughter drifts back towards you. Mixed with a few sort of squeaks and shrill cries as they sort of poke this kobold that seems to be dangling quite painfully from its arms. But you follow all along for a little bit of time. They're moving at a reasonably quick pace. It seems like they know the terrain quite well and know where they're going. They're moving with a sense of purpose, which is a little bit of a challenge to keep up stealth and match pace, but you guys are managing it. You feel like okay. Occasionally having to give a little bit of aid to Neo, who doesn't seem as home in this green terrain as everyone else is. Maybe you're sort of spreading out in a slightly sort of longer line, so only one person has eyes on, and everyone else has dropped back a little bit, and those drop back to try and keep Neo a bit quieter, aid his terrible stealth.
Just holding down his armour onto him so it doesn't climb.
But yeah.
Shit.
Who do you think would be taking the lead on this?
I think either me, cause tank, or Arwen, cause terrain.
Yeah, what terrain is this exactly?
At the moment, this is still like woodlands and forests.
Okay, so my things work. Okay, I don't mind going first.
Yeah, then probably Arwen, but like me, very closely behind.
Okay, so Arwen, you'd see this clearest then. You'd see the kobold is constantly twitching and fidgeting and having to almost run or like do a little like skip in their step occasionally to stop them being like dragged forcibly along by their wrists, not being able to walk. And, when you have to walk quickly, your arms, oopsie daisy, there goes my notebook, your arms normally have to get involved, but their hands being tied means they can't do this, so they're struggling to keep up a little bit. They're also trying to keep, you see that rather than having their arms dragged out in front of them, they're trying to keep them quite close to their chest, it seems. And then after a little while, you realise that they're actually trying to keep them quite close to their face. As unbeknownst to the draconian, the kobold has managed to get its bonds into its mouth and is subtly trying to chew, and then it stops for a little bit and just sort of gets tugged along and then like catches up a little bit and it just chews again more on its bonds. And you watch this go on for half an hour, maybe 40 minutes as you're following. Everyone gets a little bit warm as you try and move quickly but quietly. Your legs start to burn with the effort of stepping quietly, but sort of this half crouched sort of run as you try and keep quiet and follow along at this marching pace. And then all of a sudden there's a quiet snapping noise, and just like that, off through the trees, crashing and running, this kobold runs.
How many draconians did you say, sorry, that there were with this?
There are 3.
There are 3.
Yes, and it looks like a similar grouping.
So like 2, like 1, you call it like a dreadnought or something like that, 1 and then 2.
Yeah, there's 1 big and muscular and hulking. There's 1 slightly more lithe and that carries this trident, and then there's 1 that looks looks powerfully built, but more like a ranger or a soldier than a huge tank of a fighter.
That's fair. I mean, we're pretty stealthy. Do we want to try and, like, in this moment they're kind of distracted, I'll look back and just sort of give a hint, like, should we just try and take them real quick? Like, real quick?
Yeah.
I feel like we maybe could.
Yeah, because we have our stealth thing.
So yeah, this group seems to take off running, and again, it's this coppery green one that leads the chase. The other 2 seem to follow at a more, they are jogging rather than sprinting. It's more like they trust the other one to capture this kobold once more, and they are just sort of making sure they keep up or keep within touching distance of it, so that they can still fight them. But yeah, everyone was going to essentially open fire.
We also, how close are we? Because that would kind of depend on my capabilities in this.
You guys are probably sticking back a fair ways, maybe 50, 60 feet.
Ooh, I can do 50, 60 feet. I can do that shit. Alright. Yes. Okay, yeah. Are we rolling initiative, or are we just going in with a surprise round, or are we what?
Yes, everyone roll initiative, and just so we've got that, and then we will deal with surprise and things after that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody, initiative. Crap. Buckets, Chantel. Crap buckets.
How do I do this thing?
What thing?
Can I make this another tab?
That is another tab.
Yeah, I want to make it another one.
Mountain.
I can do this on Chrome, I can't do this on Mac. It's fine. I will deal with that later. Right, so up first we have... What is here? Okay, we've got Arwen, followed by Klari, followed by Stix. Followed by the kobold, followed by the draconians. Oh, and you're up.
Yes. Can this trip them up?
Hold on, let me throw you all just onto another place yourselves up on this northern edge.
The northern edge.
Yeah.
What?
Here, this guy. Kobold.
And you'd be.
Who's running away. Let's give you Neo as well. Put him well in the back. Okay, so Arwen, you're up first.
Yeah. So with could Drawnlight trip them up
What does
if
it
I wrap
say?
them around the ankles?
You've got a long vine-like whip covered in thorns that lash like melee spikes that get tight. If the creature is tight one, piercing damage, if the creature is large or small, you can pull the creature up to 10 feet closer to you.
Aha! So yes?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to use a thorn whip
Okay.
and I'm closer to it.
Okay, yeah, because you need to get a bit closer to
5,
that.
10, 15, 20, 25. If I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
can they not see me?
For you to be able to attack them, they will, yes. There's no way they're not going to be able to see you after you hit them with a thorn whip.
But am I behind cover? Because there's a bush.
Yes, but cover goes both ways.
Can I whip and then go behind cover? Oh no, because that's hiding or whatever, isn't it?
I mean, if you've got the movement, you can whip from the open and then move into cover.
But only if you nay.
Christ, I'm not doing that. Yeah, I have the movement.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll whip and then
Okay,
on this one.
okay, make an attack roll
Where is my whip?
with advantage because surprise.
How exciting.
13.
That seems wrong.
I don't think that's going to hit, I'm afraid.
Neither do I.
As this is... Oh, that is the mage that's currently closest to you, so it might hit. No, unfortunately it doesn't. So in your haste to catch up... Let me leave that page open. Why did I close it? Yeah, so in your haste to catch up and get within range, you conjure this whip. Very slightly too early, and it just lashes out and just snaps, and the sound of it cracks through the air, but you don't manage to wrap it around and grapple the target.
Soz, guys.
Any bonus actions? Any remaining movement?
Nope.
Okay. Klari.
Klari. We got the bad guys. We're like so totally down here. Yeah, they're like way down there.
I'm gonna throw fire at that one.
Okay. Roll to hit with advantage.
What should I throw down?
14 also misses, unfortunately. So again, like Arwen, you're rushing in, and as you're rushing, you just don't
Leave that.
have the time to aim quite properly, and this firebolt just streaks overhead. Stix.
Alright. So, they're up there. We want this over really bloody quickly. So, I'm going to have to move. Oh, fuck, this might be more than 5. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Aha! And Misty Step. Straight into the action.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, even a spell slot. It's fine, I can get that one back. And then I'm going to try and hit both of them. Well, one of them first, obviously. 14 on the one on the left.
It was 28 because you have advantage. Because surprise.
Oh, I have advantage. Yes. Of
So
course.
That hits.
Fuck yeah. Get shot on. It was two-handed. I don't have a shield out. 12 damagios plus 5 damagios. 17.
Mm-hmm.
And then, ooh, do I attack the same one twice to try and kill him? Or do I... No. No, because then we'll get more than down potentially. Earlier time span. And then, I'm going to attack the second one. Just with a heavy slash. Please tell me that still has advantage.
Yeah, that still has advantage because he's technically still surprised.
Does 17 hit?
17 does hit.
Oh, thank the 9 hells. Two-handed. Again, 8 damage. That's sad. But also with 12. Well, that's pretty good. 20.
20.
Gosh darn.
So yeah, you guys all rush in, Stix, Misty stepping straight into the action. You almost like jump over this vine that Arwen throws out. This firebolt flies overhead as you appear. And you deal these 2 heavy cuts to this mage-like one initially. That looks very, very badly hurt.
Whew.
Yeah, just going to run 5, 15, 20, 25, 35, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So Neo just uses action to dash 30 feet in, just get in there with Stix.
Ah.
But you can't attack this turn. The kobold doesn't seem to notice anything, or if it does, it just continues pelting away. Just disappears off. Cool. Allow me to right click. Why won't it? I cannot right click for some reason. I'm trying to right click on the thing, it won't let me. Why is your laptop ridiculous?
That's how you right click.
No, it's just not. it's just not how you do anything. Anyway, so that's what the kobold does. The draconians are surprised, so it's their turn, but they don't get to act. They are no longer surprised, and they are all suddenly turning around at the source of these attacks to face you all. So, the top round, Arwen.
Can a whip, just a normal whip, pull someone closer?
Yes, but that would be your attack to do so. It would be like using a shove attack. So rather than dealing any damage, you would essentially grapple and pull them, and then it would be a contested. So you would have to hit them with the whip, and then it would be a contested strength check. So your strength versus their strength or their athletics, their dexterity, depending on what they choose to pull them.
So it's 2 attacks.
No.
Which is
you have to.
So I hit them, but it doesn't hurt them.
Yes.
Okay.
So you
Are
can
they
make
gonna
a
hurt
shove.
from falling over.
No. So normally you can make a shove attack to replace one of your attacks, which is just a contested check. However, because you're doing it with a whip, there's the extra stage of you've got to hit them first and then make the contested check.
Okay. What's the range on like a whip?
A normal whip is 10 feet.
Oh fuck. 10 feet.
Yes, that would be 10 feet if you're going for the mage.
Okay, I'll just hit it.
Okay? You can hit it. That shouldn't be with advantage, but the 19 will still hit.
Sorry.
It's alright. We'll take the disadvantage roll in this scenario because it still hits. 9 damage. Yeah, so Arwen, rather than using a magical thorn whip, you pull out this, like... It's this great sword that Arwen carries, but when she twists the handle in opposite directions, you see that all the pieces of this blade separate into these and stretch out on this cable that she whips back and around. And so it's almost like this now serrated whip as it wraps around the throat of this draconian. As she tugs, there's just a spray of blood and the head just is ripped off.
Oh, dear God.
Oopsies.
That's your first attack.
Oopsies.
So that was the one not between me and Neo, the other one. No, that one.
That's the one within 10 feet of where she is.
Okay. This might be over a lot quicker than I expected.
No, wait, hold on. Is that 10 feet?
No, that's 15 feet.
I'm done. That's 10 feet.
Yes.
Okay. I do it again. Oh shit.
Yeah, that hits. So, roll damage and... where's my phone? I need my table of... Roll a d8, yeah.
Oh, 2d4, rolled 1 on both dice.
Can I also use
Oh, but your main attack rolled 4.
Can I also use Colossal Slayer on it?
No, because it hasn't taken any damage until now.
Oh shit, yeah, no, yeah. I knew that.
Wait, which one hasn't taken any damage?
The one that she's hit now.
This one.
Yeah, as I hit it last turn.
Oh, you hit both of them. I thought you hit both on the same one.
No, I hit 1 on each.
Well,
I mean,
that's my mistake.
if it makes things easier, I'll just say I hit both on that one. But
Yeah, my apologies. So again, this creature sees you coming out and you whip out towards it, and it puts this scimitar up in front of its face to see you going for this, and your whip lashes across it, but also smacks the side of the blade into its face, and it's just it's dazed and confused. It is technically discombobulated and can't take any reactions.
Excellent.
It's an additional benefit of your d8. And so that is a total of 14 damage. Anything else in your turn?
No, I'm good as I am.
Okay.
Having a good time here.
Okay. Klari.
Klari.
You guys are like.
Yeah. Keep up.
Okay.
Oh, one thing actually. Creature within 10 feet. So Arwen, Stix, and Neo and the Dreadnought need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh!
You combusted.
Everybody gets a +4 to this roll. Everybody gets a +4.
Oh, +4. Neo might succeed then.
Everybody gets +4.
Neo does succeed.
Dexterity? Yeah.
Fuck yeah! Oh, 4. Crap.
14.
Oh, yeah. Everyone succeeds. Okay, so as Arwen rips the head off this first draconian, before it even hits the ground, the flesh and muscle and tendons on it have all shriveled away, and just this clean white skull hits the ground. And as you turn, all the bones are exposed, and all the flesh is just magically shriveled off to nothing. And then there's a pause for a second, and the bones explode. But fortunately, everyone involved manages to throw themselves to the side and duck and turn as this shrapnel blasts out, and no one takes any damage.
Woohoo!
As you all pass your saving throw.
Wait, did that thing take any damage?
No, it also passed its saving throw.
It's like I should have used a thing on it.
Yeah, no, it also passed its saving throw.
Damn.
Sorry. So yes, Klari, what are you up to?
Running.
Is this like big branch something that we actually have to climb over, or?
Yes, it's like reaching down across the thing.
Is it double movement when you go
Yeah,
over?
it's difficult terrain.
Yeah, I don't really see. So 5, 15, 30, 40 to get on top of it. Oh, there's me. Oh, there's one there. I keep thinking I thought it was in there.
Hey, where did the one kobold?
Pardon?
Where did
The kobold?
yeah? Did he
The
run
kobold ran off.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah, and these guys like turned around as they were being attacked by you, so they seemed like they said sod the kobold.
me?
By you, yes.
Yeah, you can walk through someone else's space, but you can't stop them. If we're winning, obviously, which I assume we all are.
35.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. Just a casual.
Casual,
I have a
27,
advantage,
31.
No, but you do have an ally within 5 feet.
Oh, I forget about that.
So that is 25, 28. Ouch. 28 damage.
I'm going to attempt an offhand as well.
Yeah, bonus action offhand attack.
Yeah.
13 unfortunately misses. So you strike at it while it's sort of discombobulated by Arwen, taking advantage of the opening, but as it regains itself slightly, it moves away from your second strike.
Yeah, damn.
And thus you hear hissing and cursing in this draconian voice. Stix, what are you doing?
Oh, what Stix does best. Panic. No, I'm going after. I feel like this guy. He can't take reactions, right? This guy here.
He's a little bit dazed and stunned from being smacked in the face by his own sword because of Arwen.
Next one, because I feel like that we got this guy in the back. 5, 10, 15, 20 to there, and I'm gonna make a couple of swings against him. I just want to see if there's anything interesting I can do, or is it just whack him? Just whack him. Just whack him.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Whooshing, two-handed.
Yeah, 11.
And whooshing, 21.
Yes. 11 hit.
19 damage.
Just 19?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we might have to fight a dragon later, and I've already gone through half my spells. Scratch that. Gone through most of my spells. I have 4 star slots left.
That's quite restrained for you.
It is, to be fair. You have no idea how restrained I'd be. Not fucking pumping. I mean, to be fair, I did miss the second gunfight. I could have just sprinted into, but whatever.
Okay. Any bonus actions?
No. No. Just gonna look him dead in the eyes and say, oi.
Okay. Well, Neo is going to make 2 attacks. One of those will hit. You're going to deal. What's that? 6 damage? 6 whole damage. To this one. Yeah, so double strikes quickly with the glaive. First one is blocked, but the second one catches it like high in the shoulder, piercing through the armor, and curses and hisses in Neo's direction. But now it is their go. First one is going to make 2 attacks against you, Stix. That is
AC 17.
21 and a 22 to hit.
Ah! Yeah.
You take
Yeah.
You take 8 damage from both attacks as this
That was.
curved short sword cuts out at you surprisingly quickly. It almost seems to have given up the opening to take damage to also deal damage. And it stabs you quickly, like twice. And then the larger one is going to make 1 attack against Klari and 2 against Neo. So they're both going to hit Neo. So again, wielding these like dual serrated swords, strikes out at Neo. And that is Neo's battering today. Unlike last time when he was Teflon and no one could hit him. He takes 11 and 11. So Neo takes 22 damage. These 2 strikes. What's maths? And then, as it does so, as it focuses on Neo and makes these 2 strikes towards him, this bony spike on its tail lashes out towards you, Klari. Probably not going to hit. A 13 to hit? No. Okay. And it looks like you're a little child again. You just play jump rope as this tail swings low for your shins and you just jump up over it. But we go back to you, Arwen. This tail flies by. You go for the whip again.
Yeah, why not?
Unfortunately, 15 misses as you strike out.
Again, right?
Yeah, you can attack twice. Yeah, you strike out, raises one of these swords and like catches the whip, but you use that as an opening to like pull the sword away, and before it can get its guard back in place, you slash across it again with the whip, these serrated teeth cutting into it. 10 damage. 15 damage. Yeah, and as you do so, you like cut up the whole front of it, and it staggers back. And as it does so, this wound that you've left on the front begins to glow, and the whole thing just erupts in fire. Can everyone make a dexterity saving throw, please? The wound just fire blasting out 10 feet in all directions.
A dex save, yeah.
Dex save.
Everyone gets +4 again.
No, only Neo gets +4. Everyone gets +3 from Neo. And Neo gets +4 from Stix. Because the whole...
Stix fails.
Stix does fail. Neo passed. Arwen passed. Klari passed. So Stix, you take 3d6 fire damage. Which is 3 and 3 and 5, which makes 11. So most fittingly, everyone that can see this kind of dives and like jumps and sort of shields themselves enough in time. Whereas Stix, facing the other way, this blast comes from behind, catching you off guard as flames sear up the back of you.
That was 11 damage, yeah?
11, yeah.
Cool.
Is that everything on your turn, Arwen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Klari, you are up. This one in front of you is now a pile of ash on the floor. Yeah, that dagger will definitely hit.
I think you've got a +12 to hit, man.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't going to take much. The cuts that Stick dealt to this thing earlier, causing it to be sort of weak and unsteady on its feet. And it sort of turns to almost face you as you pass, and then can't decide who to look at as you flank it on the other side, and you use that opening to drive the dagger into it. Stix and Klari, can you both make Constitution saving throws, please? Just like before, this thing, as you kill it, its body turns to stone.
Wait. I know, but my thing only extends to 5 feet. No, my thing extends to 10 feet, but you're 15.
No, she's 10 feet away.
Oh, you're 10 feet away. Oh, you move.
I mean, I can't be bothered to ever work out like when people are on diagonals. I'm just gonna say it's 5 feet.
No. I didn't actually moved.
Nice. Stix is paying his usual level of attention.
Yeah, Stix was kind of just. I was so focused, tunneled in on the action.
Focused that you weren't focused.
I was so focused, I lost focus because I was thinking about how focused I was.
Okay, so yeah, this thing's body turns to stone and then begins to crack, and as it does so, this gas is released in all directions.
Yeah, Stix, that's disgusting.
But you guys have seen this before and quickly like step back before you breathe in too much, and you are unaffected by this petrifying gas.
I'm on it. Oh, right. Oh, both of us are, yeah, because she gets the plus.
You are both unaffected. It is.
Wait. Are they all dead?
They are all dead, yes.
Excellent. I'm going to turn around and skunk guy. because she made a joke.
She made a fart joke about Stix.
She made a fart joke. And we are serious business.
I can't help but feel that flies in the face of the action you've just taken, but never mind.
I'd like to skunk him back.
Okay.
I like to imagine this is just, I turn around and go, "Do you make a fart joke?" And I go, "Yeah, like, well, how about this?" And then and then we're just stood in this like green
Two
gap.
instinct lines are coming off the both of you.
Yeah, and it's just this like ball of green gas that's slowly building, and Neo and Clary just slowly back in.
Over here. Out way.
And we're just both staring each other down. Like,
Who's gonna have to breathe in first? Because the smell's definitely gonna break concentration on any casting for some time.
oh
This
god.
goes on for some time. Before you eventually decide that you have other better things to do.
This goes on for some time until I try and like stare really, really intensely. But you know how sometimes when you like end up staring at people, it just makes you laugh. Like you're trying really intense and you just laugh. So I laugh and then I breathe it all in, and I'm like, oh no.
You breathe it all in and start choking
Indeed.
as the
Well,
toxic skunk smell reaches your nostrils.
Nice.
It's good shit, that.
Yum.
So, you guys are where you are. There are 3 dead draconians on the floor in front of you. There is a kobold has vanished into the woods.
He's fine where he is. He can go run
What
free.
would you like to do?
You know, I've just realised the whole point of us following them was to follow them back to their base, and now we've killed them.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Mistakes may have been made. Shit.
Which way looks up?
We looked up.
The opposite way, I'm assuming.
Yes, you can easily see the peak of the mountain ascending above you. If
Shall
you
we go up?
Yes. Up seems like a sensible direction.
Or continue on this path?
As a genuine thing, so I can get some HP back without using too many more spells and stuff, do you think we should take a short rest soon?
Yeah, sure.
Soon, maybe get away from these bodies a minute. I'm gonna like, oh yeah,
Well,
can
there
I...
aren't actually bodies. There's a pile of bones,
Oh, yeah.
some ash, and
there's a pile of splintered bones
yeah,
as the
Can
bones
I-
exploded.
and
Can I just spend maybe like a minute? I probably wouldn't spend any more than like a minute just gathering some of these up and just moving them like to the side
throw
of the
them in a
road.
bush.
But yeah, like in a bush to the side.
Yeah.
No ripped because so it sort of seems like things
You almost
didn't.
don't really have to do this with your hands. You're almost just sort of going around kicking earth to just sort of disperse the piles of bits.
Thing comes here like they don't think they can't get a sense of like whether this happened fairly soon or what killed them all. You know, anything like that. That's probably hard to determine that anyway, but yeah. And you know, so they're all a little bit more spread out, so they could just be like animal bones or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You take some time, you disperse what little remains of these things, and are on your way. The light has faded somewhat in the time that you were following these. It has gone from an afternoon to an evening now. You guys are diverting. Are you following the path, or are you diverting off to find a bit of shelter?
I mean, if we're gonna keep walking, I'd say follow the path. But if we're gonna stop for a bit, I'd say just go up a bit and find shelter.
Yeah, go up a quick second, just find a quick place to sit down for a look. Also gives us some time, like, you know, just to gather ourselves before climbing a fucking mountain. Been walking on it.
You guys take a bit of time, gather yourselves, move off. The light is starting to fade as you push on. I'm sorry, I've completely forgotten whether you said you were following the path or not. My brain's just
Yeah.
thinking about what's next.
We following the path?
Yeah, though, so we're going to move off the path briefly just to take a quick rest, and then...
Okay, so you're pushing on a little bit, heading straight up the mountain, looking to find a bit of cover and take some rest. Okay. Yeah, are you just going to move on for a bit and then stop, or are you looking for a particularly likely place to rest?
Just anywhere that, you know, anywhere really. I mean, we're off the path.
So you're not looking for a particular shelter or anything like that. You're just going to move away for a bit and then stop and rest.
Personally, no. I don't know how everyone else feels about it. The Stix is just kind of like, anything, anywhere.
You're not on the path, but you're not. So you're not directly in the open, but you're not looking for a hiding place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys find a place. You sit down. You stop, and you begin taking a rest.
Channel Divinity regained.
Yeah, you can recover any short rest abilities. And roll any hit dice if you want to do that.
And a spell slot back.
Oh. When you click on short rest, it gives you your hit dice.
Is it?
Ah, it tells you.
It lets you pick what you want to roll.
Wait, what? I ain't getting this.
Yeah, neither does Neo.
I do.
I think because Arwen's got multi-class, so she's got multiple hit dice.
Oh, that...
It'll just do it for me. That's so cool.
Well, yeah, because normally when you click on hit dice.
Yeah, but I don't know how hit dice work. I know you explained it to me like a million. Oops. Oh no, that wasn't me.
So when you take a short rest, you can roll any available hit dice to recover hit points. And you regain half your maximum hit dice back on a long rest.
So it takes 2 long rests to get all your hit dice back.
If you use them all, yes.
And don't...
22 plus 9, 31. Neo's rolling some hit dice because he's a loser. He knocks roll 1. That's a 3. I'll do. Yeah, so you guys sit down, you take a long rest. Anything anyone would like to discuss? Or what's everyone doing to pass the time during this rest?
I'm reading more of this draconic book. Draconic thing. Yeah, I'm just trying to look up the words, or like things that like I don't speak draconic. Do you speak common? Like I think I'd said I was doing this last session, but just trying to solidify that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't speak.
I have to say, take me to your leader.
Okay, I'll also look up the word for leader. Just like the word leader or master or anything like that. Just Just a word.
Yeah, make a straight intelligence check for me then. We'll see how well this goes.
Learn the word leader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you spend a bit of time, picking a couple of words to learn, and you're reasonably confident that for now at least they are fixed in your mind, and you will be able to remember them, at least for the next few hours. But, the rest of the day, you're pretty confident that should anything happen, you could.
I can see.
Recall them. Beyond that, like the next day, the day after, if you don't refresh them, then they'll probably start to fade from your mind. But for now, you're sort of muttering them over and over again. You're reasonably confident that you've got them. And it's the sort of thing where you say it for a little bit and you're like, oh wait, no, you've suddenly like changed how you're pronouncing it, like halfway through repeating it, and you have to go back and like read it again and slow down and make sure you think you've got the pronunciation right. But you do that. What's everyone else doing?
I'm teaching Hugo about tax evasion.
Okay. First roll an intelligence check to decide what Arwen knows about tax evasion.
Absolutely fucking nothing.
With disadvantage because Arwen can't read.
That one?
Yeah.
Excellent.
So Arwen knows
No.
basically fuck all about tax evasion.
I know that it's something you're supposed to pay to someone.
And now
But
roll an animal handling check.
With advantage, yes.
Yes,
Yes, exactly.
because of your relationship with Hugo. 14. So you have managed to convey to Hugo the concept that people haven't paid him, and they should have. And he starts nosing towards your coin pouch.
No, not me.
Yeah.
No, not me.
He starts. He knows about money. He has understood the concept, and he wants what what you have told him he's now owed.
Can I in my mind the picture of Stix?
So you try and that's the image of Stix.
Stix doesn't have any money. It's fine. No one will.
Why?
Okay, roll a persuasion check.
Money. That's the game one tax.
Oh god, how do you
What the hell are you trying to write? Oh,
trying to use your damn keyboard that's
my keyboard is great.
it's just not the same as mine, so I'm hitting the wrong keys. So even with a 6, you persuade Hugo that Stix is the person that he is after. So Stix, as you're reading this book, Hugo sort of like he jumps in the air, like flaps once and then glides down, landing on your leg and starts nosing towards your coin pouch.
Arwen, this is not the time to be building a hoard, okay? Get away. I have nothing. Go see her. I'm just going to point at Klari. Go see her. He has money. Go. You want coin? She has coin. I'm just going to start looking up.
The persuasion check.
How do you say the sneaky one has coin? Persuasion.
Yeah.
Oh, +8 on this. 16.
Unfortunately, Hugo is persistently, and he's like, you see what he opens his mouth and he sinks his teeth into the leather of your coin pouch.
Fuck up.
And he manages, there's not a lot in there, but he manages to perfectly wrap his teeth around like a single coin. And so he's like trying to tug it through the side of the pouch.
That bastard has taken 10% of my worth.
Well, he hasn't got it. He's just got his teeth clamped on it from the outside, and he's trying to pull it.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. You know what? What she didn't tell you about taxes. You pay 10% of your national income towards it. So, Hugo, there you go. And I'm just going to drop him 1 golden coin.
Okay. He like takes it in his mouth and like walks off like a cat, that's really happy with having like delivered a dead bird to its owner. It's like that, except it's taking the 1 gold coin. And just...
your second piece of hoard. I will put it in the inventory.
The next will be our bones. No, yeah. This is fine. Can you turn the light on? It's very dark in here, very suddenly. Thank you. Yeah. And the Lord asked Chantel, let there be light. Yeah, that's better. Good light.
Yeah. As you're sort of sitting there watching this go on, is there anything you'd like to be doing, Klari?
Honestly, Clara's kind of interested about tax evasion.
Clary's listening quite intently to Arwen's lessons on tax evasion. Clary's got quite a bit of wealth, so she's trying to make notes of how to hide it away from the authorities.
Oh.
You're all welcome to my classes.
For the hell of it, make an insight check against Arwen's 7 for tax evasion.
I might be wrong, but I don't think you can roll below a 7 on insight. No, yeah, you have a +9 insight.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, why have I not seen that?
That one.
Oh.
Okay, well, so your passive insight is... So, Arwen mentions tax evasion, you're like, I've got some money, that would be good to not have to pay in taxes. And then Arwen starts talking, and you're like, okay, never mind, Arwen knows nothing. This is all bullshit.
Oh, bullshit.
But yeah, the time goes by, spent in this manner. You guys spend an hour or so resting before you feel recovered. You've regained a little bit of your strength and things, and you stand up to move on. It is not full dark now, but you realise that it will be dark in a couple of hours, you expect, if not less. It's getting close to nightfall.
Actually, no, I'm not going to convert it into a spell slot yet. I'm going to wait and see if the channel divinity will actually ever be useful again. Okay, it's getting close to dark. I reckon we just keep pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit further.
Yeah, you guys push on.
How high up the mountain are we?
You guys are several hundred feet up the mountain. You reckon you're on the side that you are, you've followed this path and you've come round a ways, and you can see that there are these 2 massive trees that you spotted from the other side of the valley. The ones that stick abnormally large outside, above the canopy. You reckon they might be within a few hours of you. You're not 100% sure, but they are sort of your biggest landmark from your position, other than the mountain itself that just stretches up. And from this close distance, you can see that the branches of these 2 trees, in the last of the fading light, as you look up and navigate via this landmark, that the things you could see in the branches are now very clearly the bones of large creatures. You can see, for some reason, a lot of them appear to be missing a head, and they all seem to be of the same type. The ones that seem to be missing a head are these long skeletons in a single line with ribs wrapping round.
Do they have wings?
No, there are no wings or anything. These are almost like a singular long spine. No limbs or anything seem to come off, and just ribs.
This is snaky.
I think.
Sort of snaky.
Oh, snaky.
I think we found that purple worm.
But yeah, there seem to be several of these almost draped amongst the branches, but they seem to be missing their heads.
I think worms don't have bones. They're just floppy. I think. Like jellyfish. They don't have
I think
bones.
regular worms are, but this is a huge, massive thing. Surely it would need a skeletal structure to remain capable. Unless this is, as you say, like a massive, massive snake.
It could be like a basilisk sort of snake
It could be, yeah.
thing.
Or like a
Basilisks in D&D have legs.
Oh, do they? Oh, shit.
wing. They're like big chickens.
No, those are cockatrices.
Oh yeah, no, those are cockatrices. Well, yeah, we fought a basilisk.
Yeah,
It's like
Any
just looks like a big lizard.
I forgot it had feet, legs,
Mm.
things. Okay, well, a big snake. Big bad snake. Or a big good
Without a head. Thereby meaning, yes, that we are. Okay. Keep moving on, but this is definitely. Would I?
Can we investigate what it might have come from?
Yeah, I have
Nature check.
expertise in nature. I am considered an
Would you
expert.
like to do it with advantage because I'm helping you?
I would rather like that, yes.
It's a practical check because the creature is missing its most defining feature.
What, big old head.
Yes.
Hello. Header. 19.
19. Yeah. You, Stix, think you are correct that a creature the size of a purple worm would need some sort of skeletal structure, otherwise it would probably just be crushed under its own weight. So potentially these are indeed this. It's quite hard to identify specifically, but you do think there is a possibility that they could belong to something like a purple worm.
When you say worm,
Hmm.
do you mean like a slithery worm or like a dragony worm?
Like a slithery worm.
Oh, okay. I thought I'd been misunderstanding it this entire time. Because I just suddenly remembered there's dragony worms.
No.
Oh
I
my.
There are dragony worms in D&D.
Oh, yeah.
There's a great worm.
Yeah,
There is a
well,
great
yeah.
worm,
Right.
but that's spelled with a Y.
Yeah. And also, a great worm, it still has legs. It's not an actual great worm. Worms are just like big snakes with wings.
Yeah.
But a great worm in D&D has,
It's just a big fucking dragon.
yeah, just a massive dragon.
Yeah, I was just making sure I hadn't misunderstood the entire time. Okay, cool. Good.
But that'd be funny if we all thought it was like some cool dragon and we went after it and it turns out it was just this massive fuck off worm. How disappointing would that be?
Excellent. I got a pet.
Alright, so. Okay, hold on. So where did we hear about that purple worm? We didn't really hear that it was close. We just heard that. No, we did hear that it was close.
Honestly,
So-
I don't remember when we first heard about purple worm.
Yeah, I just know that we've been worried about seeing one for a long time.
I do not remember.
It's fine. It's fine.
It is fine.
Oh wait, could there still be some of its venom for you to take for thinking?
Not without a head.
Oh, not without a head.
Crud. But maybe a like a
Who knows
tail.
if you'll be able to find a head?
Hmm?
But who knows if you'll be able to find a head?
It's probably on someone's wall.
Yeah.
Someone. How big is this thing? Like, how big would we estimate the head is?
It's about 10 feet across, probably.
Okay, so if we see a little man with a 10-foot head, we know what's happened.
Okay. Let's keep moving on. Actually, yeah. Are there any signs this was recent?
No, this looks like the skeletons. And as you're studying it, it's the light is fading fast at this point. But these look, deliberately draped through the branches, almost as an intimidation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, that's
This. Hold on now.
actually.
Which means these
Imagine
fuckers.
something that's like 50, 60, 70 feet long, this skeleton, and it's like 8 to 10 feet wide, and then it's just missing a head, and it's just up in these enormous trees. You guys are a little ways down the mountain, so you're sort of guessing based on distances as well.
Well, at least we're on the right tracks if they're deterring us from here. I think we're getting close.
I also think we're getting fairly close. But it also kind of worries me because it means these fuckers took on a purple worm
Yeah,
at some
but
or another.
like,
Or just found its skeleton.
yeah, I think they found it and then went, yeah, this will scare people.
Yeah.
There are multiple of them, it's not just one.
What, purple worms?
Well, similar skeletons,
Oh,
there's
thought you
you
meant
can
it
see
was-
from where you are, there's probably 3, if not more, that you can see
oh, exciting.
clear enough and they are all missing their heads.
Well, still not scared. Let's go, guys.
Let's go.
How are you proceeding? Are you continuing off the beaten track, or are you pushing on to try and, if you trying to find a path to follow again?
We are moonwalking. No, we are.
Okay.
No, I reckon. Because it's getting dark, I would say we could take the main path. Because the dark vision, it's not perfect. And it might just be more helpful, because, I don't want to, fall off a cliff or some shit by going the wrong way.
Yeah, that could be awkward.
Or, knocking something and then a fucking, avalanche or some shit falls on our faces.
Yeah, I think the path is a good idea. Do we know how far these sorts of creatures would have dark vision?
No, you have no idea.
Okay. How far does Hugo have dark vision? He doesn't. I don't think.
Well, we know Klari has, some fucking ridiculous number of dark vision.
Okay.
Yeah, Clary's got 120 feet of dark vision.
Jesus!
I know.
That's impressive.
Insane. She doesn't need it to be light.
So you're looking for a pathway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Can everyone other than Clary make a survival check with disadvantage? Clary still make one, but make it normally. Sorry, that was poorly worded. Can everyone make a survival check?
Survival. Yeah.
Well,
I'm very glad you all love.
are we
That'd be
still
very
in forest area?
See, but I don't know what I'm.
Just about, yeah. I'll say.
When you make an intelligence or wisdom check related to your favorite terrain, your proficiency bonus is doubled if you are using a skill that you're proficient in.
Okay.
Does that?
Are you proficient in survival?
Yes.
Therefore, you can add 4 to that roll.
17.
Okay. So 13, 17, 9, and 3.
Clary doesn't. You said Clary.
That's true. My apologies.
60.
So 13, 17, 16, and 3.
3.
Yeah.
Neo.
Neo's not having a day, is he?
Not a natural outdoorsman.
Oh no.
He's good at the killing and the working out how to kill.
Well, the last time outdoorsman, he was a bit sleepy.
So you guys push on. You navigate through the woods in the dark relatively well. Arwen is almost using Clary's eyes to guide the party, as Clary can see further, and so she's almost calling out softly what's ahead, and then Arwen's using that combined with her own sort of 60 feet of dark vision to lead the party on a safe route, the two of you working in tandem. You do find the path that you're looking for, and can follow it. You don't have to follow it too far by the time you find it. Maybe only another sort of 40, 50, possibly an hour. Night has properly fallen at this point when you kind of following this path. You see the two trees, these two enormous trees up above the canopy of everything else. The mountain above is just a rocky face. It gets much steeper beyond this point, beyond where these trees seem to be growing out of as well. You find yourself coming in between the two of them. As it almost looks like they're spreading out as you get closer to the middle of them, as you're slowly walking, and then they almost disappear into the gloom of the night as they get beyond the range of your dark vision. It's a little bit disorientating, not being able to see the mountain ahead of you in the darkness or anything like that. But you're following this path, and then through the trees you see the first pinpricks of torchlight or firelight of some description. Moving towards it, you hear the sound of people moving around. You hear on the distance draconian voices reach your ears. And as you push out closer to the edge of the tree line, you start to see huts and little campfires and little makeshift sort of shelters and things in and amongst this almost switchback. Like you can see just in the darkness, the pathway goes up and turns, and illuminated in places are more huts as it seems to wend its way back and forth.
Ooh.
Is that like all of this part.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
These are like walls of
Okay.
stone. Because it's like a mountain road where it goes backwards and
Yeah.
forwards, so you've got almost like walls.
So we can't. So we could climb them, but it's hard.
It's a
Yeah,
it's
you could climb them. They are made out of stone. But
Okay.
it would
Just
be.
making sure I know the options.
Do we? Okay, so we're here, as we said in the beginning, technically diplomatically, like taking on the others. Diplomatic, don't know about that. We could, like, I have, like, you know, I have fairly high charisma. I can try and go in and talk to them, or we can, you know, as a group, try and go in and talk to them and communicate what we're trying to do.
I'm going to take one for the team and not say a word.
That seems like a bad idea in this situation. I know at times the words are very powerful, but right now, I think we want kinder words.
I don't think I want to take on an entire town of
I
things.
also don't really fancy it. So could do. I mean, can you turn into something that could scout the place out a little more for
What
us?
I'm going to do is throw Neo down on the map, real small, just to kind of show. You guys are off the bottom of the map even further. But I'm just putting you guys in. That's the direction you're in.
Yeah. Could you potentially, like, I don't know, a bird and see how many we're really dealing with here, or something along those lines?
Be like a cat or something. Where the fuck?
Do they have cats?
I don't know. Or a badger or something. I don't know.
Badge went
Small.
like a squirrel,
Yeah.
or like a
What's
fox.
the CR you can turn into? Because I've pulled up D&D Beyond so you can have a look at it.
I believe. Oh, half, I think.
Up to CR half.
Yeah, and not flying. If I can swim.
Great.
I can be a reef shark. Do you think that'll fit in?
So these are some of your options. Badger, bat, cat, crab, deer, eagle, frog, giant fire beetle, goat, hawk, oh, you can't fly, hyena, jackal, lizard, octopus. I'll go up to the CR half. Scorpion. Scorpion would be small. You got,
A giant goat.
so yeah, you got. If you can't turn into a swarm.
Yeah, I know.
Horse. Those
Oh,
all sorts
horse
of
is
things.
quite big.
Horse is quite big. Elk, badger.
Yeah, they're all quite big when you get higher. It's also on page 2.
You turn into a bug?
Yeah,
A
you can
flea.
turn into any sort of insect.
And then be squashed.
I mean, if you were squashed, you would just turn back into Arwen.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'll be on the floor like this, and then they'll all come at me, which is just awkward. A flying snake.
I think there's a problem with that one in the name.
Yeah, I know, but I've never seen a flying snake before. A bunny. Okay, go back to 1. Probably.
Let's not spend too long on this. Let's not spend too long on this.
Yeah,
Just
no, I'm not. I'm just trying to look for something small. A lizard.
a lizard.
Yeah, I'll be a lizard.
Okay. Should be in there. The stats of a lizard. So you can just keep that on hand. So Arwen transforms into a lizard.
I'm a lizard.
A lizard.
Okay.
Lizard.
Lizard. very tiny creature.
I'm a lizard.
Okay. What are you doing? What's everyone else doing? What's happening? What's the plan?
I'm just gonna go around up here.
Okay.
Go have a look around.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can climb. That's great.
Yeah, you have a climb speed. Okay, well then, for the sake of brevity, I will reveal the whole map to you.
How exciting.
So there is this large village now, and lizards are one of the small creatures you have seen while traversing through this forest. So lizards scurrying around, you suspect, should be fine. Up to you how close to any creature you're trying to get, or are you just more sort of sticking to the shadows?
Sticking to the shadows, I think.
Okay.
And having a look at.
Yes. Just make a stealth check. It's not going to be a massively high DC, but just to see whether.
So far, there's actually a manageable number of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It is the
7.
lizard's stealth, so the lizard's dexterity.
Okay, so it's just 20.
Do you keep these, the lizard?
Pardon?
Do you keep your proficiencies when you turn into stuff?
Yes, I think I do.
You retain all your physical characteristics, and I would say stealth is a physical ability, so you would have proficiency in stealth, so you can add your proficiency bonus to that. Which is 4.
10.
Okay. Yeah, 10.
I mean, I'm at lizards.
Yeah, exactly. You're a lizard. You're staying enough to the shadows and things. Yeah, and you crawl. It takes you a long time as a lizard to crawl all the way through this village, sort of up and over the walls. And you guys are waiting a solid 20 to 30 minutes as Arwen crawls around and pauses and looks for a bit, moves on, hides behind a thing as someone hides in the shadows as someone walks past, climbs up a wall, moves on, looks around, makes a note. And most of these buildings look to, as you maybe sort of brazenly crawl through one that looks to be dark and empty. It looks like they all look like fairly basic homes. They have beds and rudimentary shelves made from very rough-hewn bits of wood. Sometimes just made from bits of stone and things like that. One of them has a table that is clearly just a massive rock that is sort of flat on the top. But yeah, quite a lot of them have sleeping individuals in. A lot of them are sort of thatched roofs. There's a couple of them look slightly more well put together, but most of these are pretty rudimentary shelters. But there are quite a few. There is a lot of. Each one of these seems to contain at least one sleeping individual.
2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
1. Is it all the dragony people?
Yes, they are all various types of these draconians that you have seen before.
Okay.
The other thing you see of significance is when you get right to the top, right up here on the map, where it cuts off. Why is that not pinging? Because I'm on the wrong thing. That's my usual. So right up here at the top, there is a large stone door.
That's what I was going to ask. If there's a door.
Would
It is
recognizably
giant doors that are probably around 20 to 30 feet high and a similar distance across. You can see a seam down the middle where they join, and set into one of the doors on the side is an odd pattern. It doesn't seem to make any sense. It's almost like a picture, but split into rings.
Just split into rings.
It looks a little bit like this.
Oh shit! It's one of these puzzles.
And there are different. There seem to be 4 crystals, one embedded in each ring.
Oh, JJ has figured out how to do ring puzzles in 420. It looks like. I'm very jealous.
It was a lot of work, and it doesn't quite line up perfectly as you'll. It's on me to do that. The other thing of note is off to the side. If I flip back, as you are making your way up, off to the side here where these torches are, seems to be a little cave, and there's almost like an altar in there, and painted on the wall in green is the image of a dragon. And there seem to be sort of little trinkets, like little coins, little carvings, things like that have been laid at this altar. There's also a word in Draconic scribed, or a word in another language. You probably assume Draconic scribed into the altar itself.
Cool. I come back and tell them all of this stuff.
Okay. You guys are waiting maybe like 30 to 40 minutes for Arwen to properly make it all the way through this village and back again. It's quite an unnerving time as you do so. And Neo's sort of like pacing backwards and forwards, and sort of like if you make maybe like 5-10 minutes, he's like, what should we do? Do you think we should do anything? Should she be back yet?
I trust Arwen, and believe you me, if it was Arwen, we'd know something was wrong by now. We would absolutely know something was.
That's a good point. If something was wrong, it would be loud.
Yeah.
Quiet is good.
When it comes to Arwen, yes. Quiet is good. Less means more. Yeah, let's just wait it out. See whenever she returns. I'm assuming then she returns after a little while.
Yeah, she does eventually, after sort of 40 or so minutes, make it back to you.
Okay. First of all, do we want to let these guys in? Well, okay. My question is, do we think the master of them all, like the green dragon guy, do we think he is actually inside there?
He could be dead.
He could be dead? I can't... Oh. I mean, I doubt he's dead, but he could be dead. And that's why they've got this, like, shrine to him, almost. But... I just feel like I don't want to open this place up and for them to, like, ransack it, or them to get some secret or some greater knowledge that maybe is probably dangerous in their hands. Not that I think inside here is going to be some answer to the meaning of life or some shit, but I mean, these were like, the Knights of Aegis were like powerful warriors. Maybe there's something in there that maybe we don't want a big green dragon, potentially nasty green dragon, to get his hands on.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I really don't play this. Because yeah, on the one hand, we could just charge in there and cut them up and probably do a decent job. Or is there some kind of distraction? Could we pull enough of them out of the forest? Maybe of their village?
I mean, a lot of them are asleep.
This is true. Yes. Could we burn their village? Right. While they're asleep. Therefore meaning that they leave. They bucket out of there. And if we, as long as we don't get burned, no, this is a terrible plan. It's a terrible.
You told me not to burn things down.
Yeah, this is a village. This isn't the forest. It's fine.
It's next to trees.
Yeah, it's next to trees. It's not like, if we burn this village down, I doubt we're gonna burn the whole fucking forest down. Fine. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Klari is worried about Stix. He wants to burn things, and this isn't normal. I mean, I'm all for burning stuff, but this isn't normal.
Against burning things.
One of my cantrips is produce flame. I need to burn something every now and
All
again.
of my stuff is all about burning.
We are a great team.
My whole style is burning.
Well, yeah, I'm not fully against burning. It's just burning down the forest in that instance. I don't want to burn down a whole forest, but a village, I feel like that would probably work.
Don't we burn down the forest? It's a village. That's fine.
Fuck these dragon people! They attacked us! They tried to kill us!
While you're all discussing this, Klari, something occurs to you that you read while you were studying in the library before you left Yelion, is that potentially there is one entrance here, but from what you read of Dragon Lairs, there is always at least a second entrance. And that entrance is usually located in a place that is difficult, if not impossible, to reach. Difficult, ideally impossible, to reach by any method other than flight. But it is not always possible to make it impossible, to make the entrance impossible to get to, but if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Souls can't fly yet. Can I level up about 3 levels, please? If I whack a lot of stuff.
Roll a performance check.
No.
You reached for it then, and then you realised what I asked you to do.
Let her roll a D100 again.
She gets 100, we get to fly.
Yeah.
No.
JJ learned this lesson with the time travel.
Yeah, I learned my lesson when I let you time travel.
I'd love it if that happened though, and it completely switches the campaign, and it's like, actually, it turns out some god is helping us, named, I don't know, some funny actor for JJ, locked away deep in an underground lair.
Some funny acronym for JJ.
Yeah, I couldn't think of
A
it.
name that has 2 letters.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, no, just fun.
It stands for Ginormous Jesus.
Ginormous is spelled with a G!
I know. The alphabet in Kavran is weird.
G is in Kavran, J is in J is a G.
Yes.
Go
Yes.
get that.
G as in gnome, and J as in jam.
What are we talking about?
I'm so confused.
I too am very... So we need to fly, or we need to make it through an entire village of things.
You don't necessarily need to fly.
Well, we don't necessarily fly,
If there
but...
is another entrance, it is likely that it is in a high place.
Yeah. I'm thinking we did not prepare for a climb. Like we didn't buy harnesses or even like a grappling hook, which I feel like is a very standard thing. We probably should buy.
You guys have
Fair.
rope.
Excellent. Where are we going to tie it to?
You ever?
Rope?
So if one falls, we all fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Rope is only really good for going down, I think. That's only good going up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could tie it around a rock and try and like throw it up and over something.
I read a really funny story where a guy was doing a D&D campaign and people were tying rope to the topmost person climbing down. No, so they were tying rope to a rock, and then to keep the rope when the topmost person was climbing down, he tied it to himself and he fell, and everyone else went, "Oh, don't worry, we're just going to pull the rope." And then he went, "Okay, he falls slightly faster to his death."
Oh dear.
Could fly up and put the rope around something.
Okay. Here's my.
But I don't
Here's
like it.
We draw Hugo a picture of a teleportation circle. He spends an entire year scribing this circle in the thing. Meanwhile, we level up to the point we can actually cast that spell.
At which time I'll already be able to fly.
Yes. We teleportation circle. No, that's ridiculous.
Just go through the village, and
I
then
think.
we can use the other entrance as an emergency exit,
Yes.
because you don't want to come in through the secret place and then have to use this entrance as the emergency exit, because there will be loads of angry lizards.
Yeah. So basically what we're saying is, let's just go and fucking murder an entire village of these things. I mean, they're pretty evil. I think they're kind of evil.
They're
Maybe.
definitely evil. Let's try and do it quietly.
But I don't think opening a massive stone door and doing this thing with the circles at the end is going to be quiet, no matter what way we do it.
It's not going to be a choir of "oh" when you open the door. So.
No, but when you open a massive 30-foot stone door, I imagine it's going to rumble. But yeah.
It's fine. I'll just kick a stone or something over in the other direction, and they'll be distracted. It'll be fine. Hold on.
Could we... Okay, let's think. We need to cause, or we could try a distraction. What is distraction big enough for a lot of draconian things to run out of a village? But not so big it burns down a massive forest.
With Druidcraft,
Mm-hmm.
could you make a sound somewhere else?
Its range is only 30 feet,
Oh shit.
but yes, you could make a sound 30 feet away.
Could make lightning.
Oh, I've got Thunderous Smite. That can be heard up to 300 feet away.
Then they just think it's lightning. There's a
Well-
storm coming.
Well, not when it's... I mean, not when it's... Not if they don't see lightning.
Okay,
But
I'll
if you
use
heard
Druid.
thunder, would you be like, why was there no lightning? Or would you just be like, oh, I missed the lightning?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you were inside and asleep.
yeah, that's fair. New plan. Just go in. Just sneak in and see what we can do.
Nice. Anyone want a bit of pass without trace?
I mean, yeah. I could try and be civil with them and see, but I feel like they're dragons. I feel like he was a fairly smart dude to be able to turn himself into a dragon. He probably figured out a puzzle and then put himself in. So Yeah, pass without trace. Stealth. I like the idea that Claire is already invisible. He just heard the word stealth and fucking disappeared.
Okay.
Like, yes, stealth. Just look at some like coin person there she is like, how did that?
That's how she got so
Ralph!
much money.
Yeah,
Okay, so you cast Pass Without Trace on the party.
I do.
Everyone tries to sneak up. So you guys will essentially be sneaking towards the point where Neo is on the map now. I'll just use him to represent all of you unless you start splitting off to do things. Everyone make a stealth check and add 10.
One make a stealth check and add 10. Don't. I rolled a 14.
So did Neo. Unfortunately, that's his total.
Oh.
Not 24, unlike you, Stix. That spell is so busted.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's a great
Please
spell.
don't take it away from me.
I'm not going to take it away from you. I just have to point out how fucking busted it is every
It is.
single time.
It is, but to be
And the
fair,
problem with D&D is,
if I use it, I only have 3 spell slots in that section, and if I use it, there's lots I could be using on. So
You can use it out of a higher level spell slot.
I know, but like they're all good, just
Yeah,
in
they're
case I have to
Revive
fight a
someone.
dragon.
Keep someone alive.
Yeah.
Or bring them back to life.
I was gonna say, yeah, because also like D&D doesn't have any specific stealth system. So when you get to add plus 10 and you get a fucking 37, I feel like it's like, okay, well as long as they don't physically see you, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically invisible.
Okay, so you guys make it up to where Neo is. You're like down, like tucked into the wall, as it like comes around and up. And these pathways are quite steep in this section, and you can hear 3 draconian voices having a discussion above you.
Stix, get your book out.
Can I what?
Get your book out.
Am I going to speak to them?
No, just listen to what they're saying.
Okay, yeah. Are they saying much?
Yeah, they seem to be having a conversation. Yeah,
So I
the flowing backwards and forwards. There is different timbres to the different voices.
Do I recognise absolutely any words whatsoever? In particular, the word dragon or master, which I learned earlier.
At one point, yes, the word master does crop up.
Okay. Don't know how that helps us, but
Excellent. Good time.
at least we know the dragon isn't dead. Or maybe they're talking about how the master died, in which case it is dead. I've narrowed it down to it can be alive or dead.
Excellent.
It's floating as dragon at this point. Until you open the mountain, the dragon is both alive and dead.
Did you say so? Are all of these squares 5 feet or 10 feet?
For the purposes of this, we'll say 10 feet, just because it's... Well, we'll say 5 feet actually, otherwise the buildings are huge. But yeah, I'm not really expecting you to have to move that, to count out your movement and move that precisely. Or I'm not going to be like, you can only go 30 feet or anything like that. But
I'm just thinking like Druidcraft. So if I was to try and cast Druidcraft just in that corner, like just around here. I'm assuming these guys stood right outside their buildings, kind of thing.
yeah, they all seem to be stood in the doorways of their buildings, having a chat.
Yeah, so if I cast Druidcraft there of some kind of small animal feasting, some thing of some small.
Do you need to be able to see the point you're casting to? is.
Probably. Let's have a look at Druidcraft. It's one of them weird spells that just lets you do a bunch of shit. Create a tiny harmless sensory effect that predicts that predicts what the weather will be at your location for the next 24 hours. The effect will manifest a golden orb, a clear sky, cloud, falling rain, falling stone face with snow, falling around. You instantaneously make a flower blossom, seed, open, or a leaf blossom. You create.
I don't think you do. It's that bit at the beginning where it says you create one of the following effects within range. It doesn't mention a point you can see or anything like that.
Puff of wind, the sound of a small animal, or the faint odor of a skunk. The effect must fit in a 5-foot cube. You instantly light or snuff out. Yeah, whispering spirits and energy create one of the following effects. Yeah, so it doesn't say anything about being able to see that. I just I probably saw that point, just peer my head around and then just.
Okay.
Do they react to this at all?
You hear one of them mention something about food, and then the sound of footsteps. All you hear is the word food, and the tone is kind of like, ugh.
Can someone peek around the corner?
Yeah, and then could we potentially get Klari as the peek?
Yeah. Okay, make another stealth check.
Klari, make a stealth check.
Yeah, most of these are probably just gonna be a formality, but
it's a test for her. See if she can beat her.
Always fall over. Klari lights a firework. Okay, so it looks like you can only see two of them now. It looks like one of them has gone around and you can hear him kicking through the grass behind one of the buildings. Like in this gap between the big one and the small one, it seems like there's one kicking around in there.
Are any of them looking towards the?
Yeah, the other two have sort of looked over in that direction.
Oh, so they're not looking at the.
They're not looking directly down the road now.
Is what I'm trying. Yeah.
Directly at the road, we've done it. And as we go, I'm just gonna create another one.
Okay.
In that area again. So while they're looking, it's another sort of sound so that they know.
The situation is one of them has gone to deal with whatever they think this is, maybe a rat or something like that, and the other two are still sort of having a conversation but looking at where they've gone. So
yeah.
Pretty chilled out, chilled out about the whole thing. Yeah. How are you moving? Quickly?
I imagine fairly quickly just to try and get there, but
yeah, so these, there's little walls and things here that you can.
Yeah,
it's probably the point you need to try and aim to get to not be seen. You guys can then crouch behind that, or you can. You can go where you want, but that's probably your target to.
Yeah, that's probably where we're trying to get to. Just that little wall bit there.
Yeah, which is about 60 feet away from where you currently are. So everyone would have to dash to make that in a single turn, so to speak.
Yeah, I'll dash. Whee.
Yeah, I'll dash.
If Arwen's dashing, then everyone's got to go with her to maintain that stealth bonus. So can everyone make a stealth check with disadvantage?
No. No, you have lost her.
27.
You also got a 27.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did you actually? I'm so proud of you.
I got a 20.
Stix gets a 20.
Disadvantage.
Okay. Well, if one of you guys wants to move Neo to...
Damn, 30, no. I thought it was 39, but it's 31.
To where? See if we can see it up. Okay. Where would you guys like to go from here?
We could either go around the corner or we just climb up. Like this part and just go straight up.
We could do, but it would depend on where that guy's looking.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see that guy from where you are. Arwen would have seen, potentially if you were scouting, huts and people over here, but you, from your position and this sheer face and the little wall, you wouldn't be able to see him outside.
Yeah. I also feel like if we go up this way, we could get seen by this guy. You know, like based off Arwen saying earlier on that, there were people there and that's their previously known approximate position.
Yeah, people gathered around this pond.
So we could just try and climb this rock and take out this guy here. If we just climbed up, took him out silently, and continued on.
Yeah. Because if we go round this way, then we're gonna have to walk past these two people in a really open area, which is really
not the play. And then if we did that, we could potentially climb maybe back here, like so from down here then all the way up to back here. It's a risky climb, but maybe we could do it.
Yeah.
And then from we're smooth sailing because I can't see any dragonborns in this area.
Yeah, I decided to reveal things as they come rather than leave them on the map.
I see, right, okay.
Because the plan was to reveal sections of the map as you guys went up, but Arwen just scouted the whole village, so I was like, I'll show you guys the shape, and then I'll show you where the people are as you come across them.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
Definitely go up this.
Yeah. Kind of tempted to, because obviously climbing, I imagine, might make a bit of sound. I could try and just misty step up there and stealth attack him. If we are in stealth initiative and we get to just take people out, if that's a thing we think we can do in this.
Yeah, let me just refresh myself on what. Okay, so you can take out something in stealth initiative that has a CR equal to 1/4 of yours.
Which is 2. Are there?
It would be 3.
Oh, 3.
Round it up. I think it's actually round. Yeah, round it up.
Would he be a CR of 3?
That's not something I'm going to tell you.
Well,
we were able to do it on the last ones.
You didn't stealth. Stealth initiative is when you can drop the custom stuff that Ben and I have come up with, where you can drop a target in a single hit. You can kill them in a single hit by surprising them if their challenge rating is low enough.
okay, I have.
So you don't know what the challenge rating of any of these things is. You'd have to guess.
I have 2 ideas. Either A, yes, like Clary said, 2 people attack at the same time. We just need to get 2 people up there very quietly, because I'm assuming climbing is going to be not very quiet. Or I misty step up there and push him off the edge, where you guys are waiting down at the.
So loud.
Scream.
Oh yeah, you might scream. It might be.
Noisy.
I forget video game logic doesn't exist.
Yeah, people don't fall silently when you just pull them off a ledge.
Yeah, they don't just go, "Ugh!" They go, ah!
I imagine Clary can climb up there.
Yeah. If you get, like, you get up there ready, so you start, like, if you started, like, climbing, like, now, say, and then I will, and if you start climbing now, I'll do another druid craft and try and make, like, an animal noise. I don't know, I guess, like, on the roof, or just anywhere near that, not the ledge, like, as far over from the ledge as I can see from here, just so that he wouldn't be looking over the edge, and there's maybe like just even like a tiny bit of noise.
You wouldn't be able to get it you might be able to get it just on the other side of him from where you are. If you climbed up a little bit, then you could get it a bit further.
You made like a bird noise above him.
Yeah, can I do that? Can I make like a little like tweeting bird noises?
Yeah, you can get it like again like a little bit above him.
Yeah.
He'll be looking up and then he can't.
Yeah. So then he's not actively listening. And Claire, if you start climbing,
It's like a persistent noise, or are you gonna?
Yeah,
a specific moment.
I'll be making a fairly persistent noise. Yeah. How tall is this cliff, by the way? Is it like as tall as?
20 foot.
Like, okay.
These are a bit more like the way these cliffs are shaped. They're a bit more spaced out than I have in my head, because otherwise it's like it's about 20-25 feet on the map. So yeah, it's about 20 feet. So.
Okay, cool. So Claire, if you start climbing, and then I'm a misty step on his head.
Okay, Clary, make an athletics check first to climb.
Athletics.
Athletics first, yeah.
Oh, also, guidance. Just before you go up and start doing this, guidance. Add 1d4 to any ability check you want.
Not just to announce it before I roll.
No. You can announce it after the roll, but not before you know it fails or something.
If it's 20 feet up, me and Neo are just going to stand here so that the pass without trace is still.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, good idea, smart.
So they still get the sneaky stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You add that 1d4.
Yeah.
Can I add the 1d4?
I roll it in.
Oh, nice.
So, Clary, you start to climb, and in the darkness, there almost seems to be like this very faint, like leafy green glimmer briefly flashes up the cliff and fix itself in your mind, and as if some divine force has guided you on a particular pathway, and you start moving through this, and you find that these are nice easy handholds, evenly spaced for your height, that you can climb quite easily. Make a stealth check.
I really thought you were about to say, see a green glimmer reflected off the stone. It's the dragonfly.
So yeah, you make it up.
What was happening?
No problem, and you are essentially like crouched or like just clinging to wall, just the other side of this thing. You can hear this dragonborn, it's not dragonborn, sorry, this draconian. Just there, they seem to be sort of humming away and chewing. You can hear the sounds of like humming and chewing at the same time.
I mean, if her... Obviously, you rolled stealth. You rolled stealth very, very well. I mean, and we got past that trace. Do I even need to use Misty Step? Could we just both climb up there and try and like yank it off, or just like shank it from the from gravity?
Stab it. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my head.
But I guess attacking something from like holding on to the edge is probably quite difficult. No, I'll still Misty Step up. When she's in position.
If you Misty Step like above him, down to below him, do we get advantage?
Oh, do we get flank?
Well, if you're in stealth, you get advantage anyway.
Come on. Alright, yeah. So, I'm going to...
Unfortunately, not a thing. Despite
I'm
what
good.
I think it should be, because if you've gone to the effort of flanking and advantage and blah blah blah, you should get a bonus beyond just advantage, but there's no rule for it, so...
Roll 3 times.
yeah, so I'm going to...
Stix, are you going into the air above him? Just in the air so you'll fall on him, or...
I am indeed.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out my sword, get my sword like in a backwards grip, sort of like ready, and then I'm going to look up, and then just try and fall on him with my sword. Yes, it.
Okay. Okay, so Stix used appearing above him, falling.
I might actually, because obviously you said 20 feet, I can go a max 30 feet. It is, let's say, like 5 to 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
I'd still like appear like 4 feet above him. So yeah, no, I'll still.
Yeah, you're still high enough. Okay. So you don't need to make a stealth check because you just appear. Both roll to hit with advantage.
The stove is on. Oh, damn.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, so Klari hits.
And falling with style. Oh! Get wrecked.
This thing does not die instantly. Roll damage.
Oh no. Oh no.
it's fine because you've got.
Oh wait, no, she has sneak attack.
So 20, 30.
30 damage. Plus
A crit from Stix.
Sword of Trick Deer. Two-handed. So I was like, I'll hold on to this.
46.
46. I'm doing it. Fuck. 50. Those.
So, there is a puff. So, from down below, you guys, three of you, look up and see Klari on the edge of this cliff, like holding on. And she looks down and she holds out her hand, she gives a count to Stix. And Stix misty steps up. And Arwen, there's this soft, like, whooshing and almost like a small, like, pop or puff of smoke as Stix appears. And then you see Klari, like, lunge over the railing towards it. And Stix appears and drops out of sight. And then there is this flash of divine light. And just...
Shit! Fuck, this don't work.
And a call goes out in draconian. Unfortunately, this is not enough to kill this outright.
Oh, fuck. Fuck. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I get the
Roll a
crit.
d8 for your crit, yeah.
The thing that makes it.
Roll twice, roll twice more, ignoring sixes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Two effects.
Oh, boy.
3 and 5. The next attack against the target has advantage.
And then push back 10 feet. He falls. He falls.
Push them. Unfortunately, Stix is coming down on them, so he's pushing them into the ground.
Excellent. He's
So
10
could
feet
you
under
say-
dead.
Prone.
So yes, they are prone on the ground, but there is a scream that goes out, a bellowing.
I technically have 2 attacks.
Yes, you do.
So could I?
You can make
Would
a
I-
second
would I-
attack if
Yeah,
you wish.
but I have time with that second attack to kill it, like to kill it before it. Shout.
No, there is still. It has been stabbed twice.
Okay.
You're still having to like pull your sword out and strike again, and in that
Okay.
brief window,
Okay.
like both you and Klari get stabbed simultaneously, and then you draw your sword out, and you don't even have to roll damage. And while it's on the ground, you just neatly like lop off its head, and the scream is like the shout is silenced mid-word, but the shout has gone out, and you can hear now around you other shouts drifting across through the darkness.
We have made an error.
We have made a fatal error.
That would have been really cool if it worked.
That would have been really cool. What double crit? My
Unfortunately,
God.
these things are too powerful
Yeah. Oh crap.
for you to kill outright. So
Fuck.
this one is in fact dead. Alright, and at this point, can everyone put their token on the map? As we will need to roll some initiative.
Oh, okay.
Positions of everyone.
Whenever I want to use a spell in this fight, don't let me. Because if we're going to fight a dragon, I'm not going into that.
We're gonna run like a dragon.
I reckon there's a chance we might. And I don't want to take the chance on not having any spells.
Alright,
If
I'm going to put
you-
you up on the top here rather than hanging off the ledge.
Shit.
Let's make Stix. Teeny weeny on this massive. I'm just going to delete this guy actually. And then put Stix on where it's dead. Well, yeah, Stix has like appeared in there and like slammed down on him, pushed him to the ground, and then sliced off his head.
You know when you have like a squishy thing and you just squish it like that down on its head?
Yeah,
I have
like a
that
Coke can.
Yeah, that's how I imagine Stix pushing this thing to the floor.
Just squishing it like a Coke can.
Yeah.
It's like bismuth.
Is it like a Coke can? Or is it like when Mario bounces on Toad's head?
Yeah.
Boing, boing.
Okay. Yeah, can everyone roll initiative, please?
If anyone casts Enlarge Reduce on me now, I'm going to flip. Enlarge Reduce, it's a you grow because, you know, like Mario.
Okay.
Okay, so
Well, they grab an ice cream.
probably got Arwen first. Probably got Arwen first.
Drink.
Okay, so it looks like you finish Klari first. Let me just do a scrap the old initiative and get this one down. So we have Klari first, followed by Arwen. Followed by let's split these guys into two groups. So they're not all moving at once.
Let's kill some bitches!
Okay, right. I'm just going to color code some of these so that they're not. So I can split them into two groups and they're not all moving together. These are supposed to be red, not blue. Okay. What are you doing first? Klari, you're up first in initiative.
Yes.
Some ones you can't see. So currently up on this cliff with Stix is a... Oh, actually, sorry. There is... As Stix slices off his head, can you both make dexterity saving throws, please?
Oh,
Oh,
shit. Of course,
I
they
failed
fucking
them.
blow up. Why didn't we think of that? I should have knocked him unconscious.
Klari passes. Stix passes. So you're both fine.
Ah, shit. Okay.
There's like a flash of fire as this body of this thing disintegrates into ash.
Clary's gonna cast Blur.
Okay.
Make yourself all blurry. Let me try.
I'm just gonna, rather than having to flick between the layers, I'm just gonna bring a bunch of these to the map layer. So you cast blur, yeah. Anything else?
Okay. Gonna use my bonus action to hide
Okay.
this over here.
Okay, so you move over there and like get in amongst the trees. You don't have armor's pass without trace from that distance, so just make another stealth check for me. I'm sure it'll be plenty. That is masses.
Oh, fuck.
I'm not even sure if Clary can fail with stuff.
These guys are pretty thick, so probably not against these guys.
How intense the maybe.
Depends on the wisdom of the creature.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll do. I won't bother with anything that's
Nothing.
clicking for ages. Okay, so Klari is successfully hidden. Right, okay, let's just do these guys all at once. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 10, 15, 20, 25. So, Arwen and Neo, these three that were down earlier come rushing in behind you. These guys are all going to go 5, 10, 25, 30.
No. No. Stop.
Oh, actually, that guy's
You put the face.
that way. There's more than one direction. Let's just group all these together like this.
Sorry.
Okay. So, and then this guy's going to come. So you guys are all closing in. Arwen, your turn.
Okay. Cast Hunter's Mark.
I mean, they don't actually know you two are here.
They run in the direction of the screen. They immediately come round the corner and see you because you're standing against the base of the cliff.
I see.
So they absolutely know you're there. There is no hiding in the position you are in.
Yeah, I cast Hunter's Mark. Because,
Okay. Which one? Left, right,
middle
centre.
one.
Middle one.
Because fun.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm just gonna go up to it and smack it with my dagger.
Okay. That misses, unfortunately. That one hits.
That's nice.
So you cast Hunter's Mark, and as you're doing, like almost like using your daggers to like cast a spell through the air. Roll up to it. 6 piercing, so 11 damage. Okay. I'm going to need to keep track of this on roll 20 rather than in my book because there are too many to identify. Okay. Anything else on your turn? Bonus action, you move 5 feet. Then you move back a bit.
Sorry, Neo, I'm just gonna stand over here. Don't mind me.
Okay. Owen begins to run away.
I don't run away. I just step back a bit.
So you rush in, you cast a spell, you deal these strikes, and then you quickly back out before they have time to react. No attacks of opportunity because of your mobile feat. Also, you're sort of half. I know the squares are small. Can you put yourself in the centre of one?
Oh, yeah, I'm meant to be in that one. I'm just back.
Okay. Next up is Neo. He doesn't actually have to step up. I always forget he's got reach with his glaive. So he's going to stay where he is and make an attack against this first one. What is his modifier again? 8 damage. Yeah, 8 damage on the first one, and then the second one here. Okay, so Neo makes 2 attacks against the one that Arwen hit, using the reach of his glaive to try and keep them at bay as he sees multiple targets coming. Lands 2 very quick hits, and even in the darkness you see Arwen, this creature freezes in place, as this is one of these slightly weaker ones that the whole hue of its body changes as it turns to stone and then begins to crack and crumble, and this gas is released. Just Neo needs to make the saving throw. Well, actually, Neo and the 2 either side need to make the saving throw. Ooh, what's their constitution? So they had 1 fail and 2 fails. So they both fail, and you see this gas like bursts over them, and they start of bits of stone begin to start appearing over their own chests and arms as their scales turn from a scaly texture to a stony texture. But they haven't turned to stone just yet. Stix, what are you doing?
Crying mostly, JJ.
Okay.
That is my reaction.
Crying is a free action, it's fine.
Oh, perfect. In which case, Stix. No, I'm not going to do it. Stix is going to. Oh, and there's this bitch on top of here now.
Yeah, you technically wouldn't know he's there yet. I just couldn't be bothered to deal with all the layers.
Oh, okay, cool. In that case, how far can I throw?
You could potentially make the assumption that someone is in that hut.
Oh, fuck.
I'm not too worried about you. You know, if you want to, like, if you do want to go in there and try and kill him, then I'm gonna be like, you can't see him.
30 feet. I need to be within 30 feet of the target still to throw flame. I'm much further than 30 feet. So, out comes that heavy crossbow I remember I have. And apparently opening McAfee antivirus software. No, and I'm shooting that guy there.
Yeah, so it's just on the limit of your dark vision there. It's going to get a bit weird when you're like 2 across and 1 up, but it's fine.
Yeah. And heavy crossbow. 18.
Hits.
Oh, thank God.
A lot, so I can see what type.
Oh, for fuck's sake. 3! It deals a whole bunch of 3.
Okay.
I feel impressed with myself.
3 damage.
Basically, just grazed it a little bit.
Yeah, it almost doesn't see it coming out of the dark. As you hear it come, like turn around, you pull out the crossbow, and you fire a shot off. And like thunk, it's like it grazes like the ribs on the side of it, and doesn't even. Anything else on your turn? Movement, bonus action.
No, actually, I think I'm going to stay. Actually, can I get in the doorway of this building to give me some cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to be like inside there. Yeah, and I'll be now like hiding behind the cover essentially. Not like taking side action, obviously, but just like
Yeah.
like
Just take a bit of cover.
yeah.
Okay. Alright, these blue guys. This guy's going to go 5, 10, 15 feet. He's going to make a perception check. And not see anyone, so you can continue to go 5, 10, 15 feet. This way, he's moving off because he doesn't see either of you guys. This guy's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 45, 50, 55. He's going to dash this way. This guy's going to do the same. There's just going to be a lot of dashing, so we're going to go back to Klari while I deal with these guys running around. Okay. What are you doing, Klari?
You're just looking at spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got one target in front of you that doesn't know you're there. Stix is in the building, and you can hear lots of shouting and running about in a language you don't understand. Lots of heavy footsteps beginning to approach.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack the one that doesn't know.
Okay, yeah, you have advantage because you're hidden.
Oh!
That hits. That hits for sure.
I get 2 C.
Yeah, sneak attack is also doubled.
Yep.
So what's that?
Oh man.
I don't even have to do the maths on that one.
Then is it a D8 I roll?
It's dead.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean the sneak attack is 34 alone, plus all the others on top. I know that exceeds its maximum hit points. So this draconian comes out like rushing out with like a trident in one hand and like a chicken wing in the other hand. It's like it's dinner time, you know, they're all having dinner. And he's like looking around, he doesn't spot anything. And as it passes you, you just slink out the shadows and like grab it by like one of the knobbly like horns on top of its head, pull it back, just slit its throat. It just falls to the ground, choking on its own blood.
Damn, girl, you scared.
Yeah, make another stealth check. Yeah, just begin in case anything's trying to spot you. 14. You know.
I like the thought she just slips out, slits this thing's throat, and just edges back into it.
Stumbles back and oh,
It's
She
like,
looks at 6, like,
well, this is just like an Assassin's Creed game now. You just like hiding in the bushes, stab, hiding in the bushes, hiding in the
no
bushes.
one can see me if there's no one to see me.
Exactly.
Just hear Stix shout down, "Oh man, I'm scared of Klari."
One of us.
Okay. Alright. Next we have Red. Again. Klari, can you make a dexterity saving throw? Because when you slice the throat of this thing, like it bleeds for a bit and then it just seems to dry out and all of its skin shrivels off and its bones shatter.
Everything's explosive.
Yes. If we'd have thought about it for 5
no.
fucking seconds. Oh, 2 nat ones.
It's like
No.
thingy.
That passes.
Oh,
What?
A 10 passes.
Oh. Okay.
not okay. Evasion
The
anyway.
thing is, there's technically no crit fail on the saving throw. You're fine.
Oh,
Okay. Up next we have the boys in red. Okay. This one's going to rush in. It's going to make 2 attacks against Neo. Don't think either of those were. No. So he rushes in, tries to make 2 attacks against Neo. Neo manages to parry them both and like shoves him back. But Arwen, from where you are, you see the hands of this other one light up, and these 2 beams of like pinky light shoot forth.
Well, the alive one, not the dead one.
The alive one. Yes.
Okay.
No, the dead one is. Oh, that's a crit. And
Wait, who's it aiming at? Me or Neo?
Neo.
Okay.
It's a crit and a miss, I believe. Yes. So 3d6 doubled is. Poor roll. That's also a poor roll. Lucky Neo. Neo takes 17 damage. And let's roll. Okay. So Neo takes 17 damage as he manages to dodge the first beam, but in doing so it's almost like a feint where the other one was like cast up, so Neo ducks and Neo just like takes the other one like full in the face.
A beam to the face.
Yeah, as this like this necrotic beam just like burning his skin. That's that. What was the result of crit? You can see this wound is like on Neo is now it's like burned open it's like seared open a hole in his face, and then you can see like blood is like pouring down the side of his neck. Neo is bleeding, and will take damage every turn until they regain health or use an action to make a medicine check. Let's put a little heart symbol on there for bleeding. Why not? Right, and then we have the next ones. These guys are. There is a lot of them. So let's start with you at the top. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 feet. Dashing in. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 45, 50, 45, 60. Can't quite get to Stix. 5, 10, 25, 30. Okay, none of them will be able to reach you guys, so Arwen, what are you doing while I move these guys about?
Oh, I moved my hunter's mark to
Yeah, bonus action, move your hunter's mark, that's fine.
yeah, dagger.
Okay. Bottom
Bottom one.
one.
Sorry. I mean, I am going to do it twice, so
They both hit.
excellent. That's fun.
Oh,
So 8. 14. 2 hunter's marks. And a Colossus Slayer. So 14, 20, 32 damage to this one. Okay. Anything else on him, because it's not dead.
It's not dead.
32 damage? No, it's not dead.
Oh,
This is
really?
one of these mage-like looking ones that are a little bit hardier. They get a little bit of the better armor and it's a bit more durable.
I can't tell what square that other one's in, so I'm going to do it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine now. It's close enough, it has. Okay. Neo's turn. Neo takes...
Oh wait. Where's flanking? There?
Down one, yeah.
There.
I mean, he can
Okay.
move, so...
Carry.
Neo takes 1 damage at the start of his turn from his bleed. And then he's going to make 2 attacks again. Where are my d20s? That's one. That'll hit. And that'll also hit, so he deals 15 plus 2d8. 20 total damage to this thing. That's an unfortunate amount.
it is.
You got advantage, right?
He hit both times.
Okay.
So actually, I'll check the crits. No crits. Yeah, Neo makes another 2. He doesn't seem to be phased by this wound at the moment. It's bleeding quite a bit, but he seems to be ignoring it, favouring the offense. But yeah, he makes 2 attacks against this thing. Both land, almost like knocking one of the blades out of his hand, so then it like takes it on like a 2-handed grip, preparing to strike back at him. Stix, what are you doing? You've got a big group of them approaching.
Shit, yeah, there's so many.
There's a mixture of, in that group there are the coppery green ones, you can see a couple of them, and then there's 3 with the heavier set forms and these spiked tails. These are the hardier ones, that similar to the one that you failed to kill before. The ones that 3 that explode and fire, and 2 that turn to stone.
Yeah, there's 3 heavier ones. Fuck. Okay, we are gonna need to team up a little bit. This is gonna be rough. I know I said I wasn't gonna use a spell, but I feel like I might need to here.
Okay. I forgot about something else because there's a lot going on. These 2 down here, at the end of their turns, they both again fail saving throws, and the stone that is covering them, or like growing over them, extends completely, and they are both statues.
Wait.
It's not good.
Oh.
The 2
Yeah.
dragons have turned to stone.
So my attacking did nothing.
No, that was at the end of their turns.
Their turns.
It is, but it means that if
And then
you get caught in that, we can turn to stuff.
Whatever.
Oh,
They are now stone. They have taken that damage, and they are now stone.
Okay. Okay.
There's a lot of pieces.
There's a lot
puzzle,
going on.
So they have taken the damage that they've taken, and they are now stone.
Okay.
Which kind of favours you guys because it means that they've actually taken damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
But hey, Stix, what are you doing?
Okay, Stix is going to realize there's so many of them. Yeah, okay, Stix is kind of just hearing a lot of them coming. Pull out a sword, pull out a shield, turn around the corner, and in turning around, just try and use momentum to just hack at this guy.
You've backed up into this and realising being trapped inside is not the best idea. You come charging out using your momentum to swing around. That'll do it.
Fuck yeah! One-handed, 9.
9.
Third crit. One-handed, 14.
Stix.
Maybe I'm cheating.
Stix, can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Bastard. But I killed him.
Yeah. Again, turns to stone and cracks appear and gas bursts out.
One of the crit things, push them back.
Yes, technically.
Do your roll just in case the thing can be pushed back.
Just in case you get a 3.
Because then you can push them back into the other ones.
I got an 8.
No. Oh.
Damn. How good?
It's not the number to be able to push them
I
back.
thought you meant you couldn't push them back. I was like, wait, what?
No.
How good would it have been if I pushed them back into the other ones and they all turned to stone? How fucking epic would that have been?
Exactly.
But no, an 8.
That could have been epic.
Yeah. What does an 8 do again? An 8 is...
Discombobulate. They can't take reactions. And you really
Well,
can't take reactions now.
Yeah.
Roll that con save for me.
Yeah, can't save, so...
The DC on this, I'll reveal now, is 11.
Oh, fantastic. 15. I'm good.
The con saves are 11, the dex saves are 10 and 11. So, sorry, 10 and 13. So, they're not incredibly difficult saves, but so you guys can just roll them with confidence.
And then knowing that Klari is in the bush, do I think they've seen Klari?
With your passive perception, you can't currently see Klari.
Fantastic. I know she is somewhere. There's one that died, and I definitely didn't kill it, so I'm assuming.
You can't see her just suddenly then like dropping dead, like.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, Klari, if you can hear me, I'm gonna need some fucking help, and I'm gonna use the rest of my movement to charge right at them. Just a loud roar of anger.
Okay. Alright.
There is silence. Bushy is gone.
30, okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Fuck, there's so many. Maybe this is... I mean, I don't think they deal very much damage, but...
60.
Fuck, there's just so many... And I've got lots of healing. I have so much healing right now. That is what I've mainly kept. It's my 3rd level spells, and I've got 50 points of healing to give out. But... And 2nd level spell, so I can 2nd level cure wounds.
60.
Or 3rd level...
And this guy only had to use 30 feet of movement. So what I'm going to do is actually move you back a little bit, because he's going to cast a spell. And this guy is going to go... doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Oh, Lord.
Wait,
Oh, fuck.
what? How did he get bigger?
because this guy in the back ran in only using 30 feet of movement, so he gets his action, and he cast Enlarge on him.
Disliking this.
And as the
Why did
blue
let the
pony is
party
at the bottom of the initiative, I think we'll call it there.
No.
Come on, please, little blue guy.
Oh, why? Why did we split the party? This could be so bad.
Don't
This
you
guy-
know? You never split the party.
And we can't just like jump off the edge.
There's only 20 foot.
You could
Yeah.
slide.
Me and a cat.
But
What's that, like a max of 12 damage?
yeah, we need that. We need to keep that in case we get.
Yeah. And then, because also last session, when they jumped off a thing, they like glided down, didn't they? So they'll just like fucking jump off right after us. So in case where like if we jump off, we'll buy ourselves a little bit of time. If we jump off, we just have all of them on all of us.
Oh yeah, no, that's worse.
Oh, it's gonna be a TPK, it's gonna be a TPK.
It might be. Oh, it's gonna be a short session next week if you guys are all fucking dead.
I believe.
You thought you had a lot of prep to do for like what we got coming. Wait till you have to plan out a whole new campaign. Like,
No, if you guys all die, then
we'll go to the Dwarven Mountains. What's going on there?
Right
A
here.
whole set of adventurers.
You guys die, now we just got a new campaign. Abby's gonna run Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm actually really looking forward to that because
Read it first.
I've
Yeah, but you don't have to read it cover to cover, you just have to read it enough
I
to know
feel
what's
like I do.
coming up in the next session.
I warn you, my character is going to be a Herringon, and my entire thing is how much can I bounce?
Jump
X.
spell.
Jump spell, bonus action, hop. I'm gonna find some boots of leaping and striding somewhere.
Honestly, when I'm a DM, the weirder the better. I want all the weird.
Chaos will reign, and I
Yes.
Excellent.
That's all I
I
want.
can't wait to be a grung.
Why are you gonna be a grung?
I have no idea what I'm gonna be. But yeah. If it's Wild Beyond the Witchlight, you've got to come up with something a little
Oh yeah,
bit
yeah. You gotta go a little bit weird.
What's one of you?
So it's a campaign setting where basically, I think you just get lost in the Feywild.
I know nothing about it,
Bunch of
other than it's like a circus or something like that.
yeah, I know there's a circuit in
This
Feywild.
might be a problem for future Abby to deal with. As, things are quite frankly terrifying.
Yes, this could be really, but why? Why did we not? Oh, I'm thinking now, and it's so obvious.
That should have been moving. Hold on.
No, he doesn't know what's going on. He's confused.
It was so obvious that we weren't going to kill him without anyone noticing because they have that combustion thing when they die. Why did we not think?
Well, I didn't know it was going to go wrong.
I don't think we're gonna have much luck of sneaking through without being seen either, to be fair.
No, I thought we could do it, to be fair. I really thought we could at least get to the end, but I don't really know what we were going to do when we got to the end.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Well, you might get to the end now. You never know.
Yeah.
I think we can
But I
do
also
it.
thought, like, I know you're not very athletic. I am decent at athletics, but I don't want to fall off a mountain.
If you stop doing that, very.
You've got a week to come up with some coordination and strategies.
I might have to use one of my third level spells to try and kill things a lot quicker.
Why are there letters all across the map?
There are letters on it because I borrowed the map from somewhere, and the letters are reference points to certain things.
Like this descriptors, so that like, when they get to D, you can then say, like, oh, you see this thing that's written down in my notes. D.
I see.
But I haven't. Yeah, like.
It's quite good when they do that, but it's also really I see a lot of maps out there where like the letters are massive, so it's really like
Yeah, you
confusing.
always can't use the map as a map. You always need an inventory of the map.
Yeah. It's very awkward.
It
But hey,
might be a very long session next week. We'll see how it goes.